On the air with Kyere.
Hey everybody, we are back. I know it's been a minute, but I'm back with the jump off. And today we have one of my favorites. I won't even take too much time to introduce this one because we have so much to talk about. He makes me very happy. He makes many people very happy, but he's known as the SadBoy. He is one of my longest internet Twitter friends, internet cool kids since day one. You know, if you weren't on Twitter in '08, you just might have missed it. But we're here today to talk about it. So without further ado, I have the singer, songwriter, arranger, producer, incredible fucking graphic, creative designer, extraordinaire, everything in the world that you would imagine him to be. The one and only SadBoy. Welcome. I'm actually really excited to have you on the air. Long time coming, first of many, I hope. How are you? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
What's going on? What's going on?
I'm just working on newer music, trying to get like this whole era together and like who's gonna be a part of it, whether it's visually or sonically. So it's a lot of work going into there. And just I can honestly say with this one, I'm like super confident and what I've done with my writing and my production and my engineering, like I feel like it's so much better than what I've done prior.
Well, that's exciting. It's a couple nuggets that I can't wait to pull out of you during this chat because I know it's a couple things that I know that the world hasn't gotten privy to yet, but we're gonna uncover them today. I'm rubbing my hand like there's money coming. Like I'm excited. I want to talk about like just day one. Like you and I have known each other since we were infants. It feels like at
Yeah,
least a decade
it's been a
now.
it's been a long time. It
It's
has to
like
be.
the damn.
It really has to be. Like,
Oh my god. I'm trying to think. I can't remember like our first internet memory. I think I remember the first show. I mean, of course, it was a Dawn show.
yeah, but I can't remember our like first like fusion of internet.
I can't. I just assume it was in the DK world realm. It could have been.
Probably somewhere in the DK realm, and then
Yeah,
it evolutionized into something else.
concerts together.
Yeah.
Hell, you name it. I've seen you go from standing beside me at a show to the point where you're now on the stages with the people who we were at the shows to see. So like there's been whole like life arcs that have happened. So I'm just excited. So we mentioned them a little bit, but we have to start with a chat about DK. Specifically Dawn once we get there, but just our love for that show making the band. What are your like immediate memories? What are your favorite moments?
I can honestly say my favorite moments is when they do the 8 count to Ciara's 1-2 step, the flat, and they go back down. That's like my favorite one.
Was that
I really love the one with the bandana, and he was calling everybody out, and then 1, 2, 3, go, like that one, and then this is because of Lori, and she's like, my girl. And then we have the little clip of Dawn, and she's like, she's like, I'm gonna be consistent every time out the gate. I can honestly say another one is it would have to be when she was talking. It was not the second season, but it was the first season of Making It Band 3 when she was going over the counts and the girl that was going back and forth to school and was being in the competition, and she was like, school dream, school dream, school dream. And And of course, the messy shit with wait, what's his name? I want to say his name is Jason.
I think it was because that was on the tip of my tongue.
I want to say his name is Jason. He's going back and forth with Aubrey.
They were good. They was like,
reality TV.
Let's just throw a messy queen in there.
But the things he was saying was true. Like, they were true.
It was.
So,
it was. He was definitely getting them together. And Aubrey did not like that.
At all. She couldn't take it.
Mama couldn't take that. I hear she can take better now. Especially because we can tell that she doesn't take herself too seriously. She's able to laugh at herself. So that's good.
Yeah.
Like, led her into that kind of frame of mind. But Mama could not take it at the time. She was hot stuff. My favorites, now that I think about it, so definitely Dominique standing there in that top.
That was a good one too.
That's always a top moment. So whenever I see that clip, I have to retweet.
And they made it into a TikTok challenge.
They did. Anytime I said one year I'm gonna dress up as her for Halloween, hoops, top, little denim short, like I'm gonna just get my mirror and you gonna know exactly who I am.
When they do the
like a little hump, it's gonna be perfect.
When they were doing the counts and she did the little she did that and she made like the stink face. So I could think of L'Oreal
Yep, and I'm gonna give me 2 big puffs, and I'm gonna be Taquita, and I'm gonna too much myself. I'm gonna do a TikTok. Too much neck, honey. Yes.
I really think it'd be cool if the group of us could have a day when we all go out as that era, and we all have our favorite people and we dress up as them. It'd be fun. It'd be like how they doing with the going out as old ladies. That shit would be hilarious.
I would honestly love that, and I would beg to be Shannon. Like, I'm not gonna say anything. You're just gonna cut to me, and I'm just gonna be over there, like holding a piece of paper, just singing "I Need You Forever." That's all I'm gonna do the whole time. I need you forever. I'm the whole time.
When he was like, "Oh, get off the stage!" I was like, "God damn."
Yes, he was not feeling Mama today. She sang that damn part until she was crying. I need you forever.
Or there's this singer. I want to say his I can't remember his name, but he posts every time there's a Monday or he say he got a day that's bad. He posts a video of Aubrey, the I Can Sing video.
Mm-hmm. I just need the clip of her in the parking lot. Just it's so, that was there's just so many moments to that show where I still remember
there's so many layers.
Okay.
So many layers to it.
Okay. I'm thinking about Andrea at the mic trying to get the bridge. I'm thinking about Dawn at the mic trying to get sleep on it. Maybe we'll bump into each other in the future. Figure it out. Yes, figure it out. It was the hand for me.
She had to reach for the note.
She had to get it. Maybe we'll bump into each other in the future.
I have to pinpoint it, but that's real though. When you record it and then you trying to get into a certain type of pocket, when you just I gotta jerk my body in a certain way, or I gotta stand up a certain way, or I gotta sway, so I'm in that movement of the song. But I get it. But it's funny though.
Do you have any similar experiences in your music where you literally had to just do a moonwalk to get either a note or a feeling out?
On the record I got called Sweet Faces, I literally had to stand up and do this little had to creep up from the 516 because I couldn't just stand there and do nothing because it's a sexy record, and I just had to. You have to get into that vibe. So sometimes you can sit on the couch with a mic and just sing it out, or you can stand up, or sometimes you gotta dance it a little bit to catch the rhythm, or even for example, with another record I got that's called 575, the hook, I couldn't figure it out. And I literally was like, how would I imagine this on a stage? So I got up and I did this little back and forth dance, and I was like, wanna live life, you can't stop if but with me so like I did that, and then I was like, it was like a mumble, but I got it. And then I was like, okay, let's write this out so we can make this as great as it can and push it forward. But sometimes you got to do stuff like that in order to get what you want.
Absolutely. So Sweet Faces, that's something we'll definitely have our little jig to as we get into the next project that's coming out. It's coming for the world.
Which is, I feel like I was going through like old tweets because I was like removing stuff from Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, I'm going through old tweets, and I'm just like, I was talking to someone. It was like, I don't like how much auto tune is on Andre's voice, and I'm just like, it's vocoder. Vocoder and auto tune is two different things. They like they might have like some of the same inflections, but it's a little bit different. So
everyone's an A&R on the timeline, so you have to,
everybody's an A&R.
Everybody's the A&R. We all work for Atlantic or Capital, and like we're good.
we're all signed to this massive label,
Mm-hmm.
and we all have everybody on payroll and who's hitting the right amount of streams and who gave the amount of albums and who's
And we know how much
slapping.
everyone makes from mechanicals. And when we come back from the break, we'll get into some of the SadBoy's music and just more about our relationship and just Twitter cool things and being internet cool kids. But you're here on the air with your guy Kyere, and I'm with the SadBoy, and today we're talking creativity. So we'll be right back. Hey everybody, and we are back on the air. It is your guy Kyere, and I'm still sitting here with the SadBoy, who currently has a smile on his face, so it must be a good time. We have been talking DK, our love for making the band and things that brought us to the spaces where we met each other. I mean, we're just 2 internet cool kids, Black gay boys who were just looking for themselves and somehow saw some of themselves in 5 women from various parts of the world.
Different parts of the world.
And that brought us here. And the real reason for the season is to talk about your music, because the SadBoy does sing. So please tell us a bit more about your songs. Like what brought you to the microphone? Like what was the thing?
This is the crazy thing. I've always been like, I wanted to sing as a kid. Singing, dancing that's always been me as a kid.
Okay.
You couldn't stop me. Like I would be outside, and my mom's like big, like she had these big platform boots. Like they're not boots, but they were like sneakers. They were the one like Baby Spice would wear.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'd be outside in my diaper and those singing and dancing in the driveway. No lick of English, but singing, dancing in the driveway. Full out at whatever age that was. And that's always been me. And then my dad produced, so he would always have something open on Fruity Loops, and he's making some type of craziness of sonics. And I just was like, okay, like me and my siblings would do like little songs over like those crazy beats. And then I kind of like died down a bit, and then I was in high school, and I was like, okay, I like doing this, I like doing that. I also like technology, so I kind of like pushed myself towards technology, which is a love of mine. And then once I got into college, I was like, let me kind of test the waters on this music shit again. And then I started doing like these crazy. I would pick up these beats from like Skrillex, Machine Drum, Oshi, like super crazy production, and I would cover like random, like just do random covers of like Dawn, Tinashe, FK Twigs, Rihanna over other people's production, but the songs were like super EDM records. And then I was like, okay, let's see if I can try to produce my own records. And at the time, I was doing background vocals for Darius, which is he's a makeup artist now, and his name is Neon. Can't remember the rest of his name, but I know it has Neon in it. And I did background vocals for him, and then I started dabbling and producing and engineering myself. and that was around 2015. So 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, and then I have records out.
So what was that moment of that first recording where you're like, no, this is something I want the world to hear? Like what was the thing that let you know? And that song, I believe, Two Nights Part
I
Two.
felt like that was the song that kind of like that set the tone for where I wanted to go. Um, I knew I wanted to tell a story, but I also wanted to give it from my perspective, and I also wanted it to be the things that I love. I didn't want to come out the gate like super mainstream, um, or like contemporary. I just wanted it to be very art kid on the internet. He pumping out these songs that I feel like would be like what Tumblr kids would listen to at that time. And I just wanted it to be original. I didn't want it to be anything that I feel like I have to mask and then be like, okay, I really do this type of music and I really love it and I want y'all to fuck with it. But I don't come out as that in the forefront from the get go.
Nice. I honestly, and with all of your music, it always has the consistent through line of, I'll always say lyrical honesty, because I feel like the mutuals that we love and are, similarly inspired.
I really wanted that honesty. I like when songs are honest. I do like when, where you could be metaphorical and really play with a wordplay, but I feel like sometimes honesty just hits a little bit stronger than trying to hide behind certain words to give off what you want. Even though I've done that on some of the records, like on Vineyard, I feel like that's my best written song. And I kind of play on the idea of like, of wine and like my alcoholism and how complicated my relationship is with someone and being drunk off the situation and being drunk off my thoughts and having it bubble up and turn into something else different. So I like the honesty, but I also feel like it's cool to play on metaphorical, but honesty is the foundation.
I mean, so with that being said, right? So in your writing style, with a song like Vineyard, do you come from a different place? Or does it start with like, here's an idea, here's a word, and how did your typical process come, and was the Vineyard process unique to your typical process?
No. My typical process is like I have the beat and I write out at that moment, or I do melodies and I come back and write to it. With Vineyard, which is a little bit different, I was on my way home and I kept on humming the Dear Moscato, and I kept hearing it in my brain. So I was like, okay, let me record it in my notes. So I recorded in my notes, and then I got to the light and I'm like, it doesn't matter if you're pink or red. I don't care. Like, if you're this or you're that, like, just fuck with me. Like, just choose. Like, it's very pick me, but it's like, just choose me for the night. And it's kind of like, I did that, and I like on my drive home from work. I wrote that record on my drive home from work, and I got home. I produced the record, and I was like, okay, we only got 30 minutes to cut this record before I go to my next job. And I cut the record. Those vocals that are on Vineyard are the same vocals from the demo. There's no new vocals. There's no added anything. All of that is from that one session and that in those 30 minutes, and that is it.
Nice. You're like, no, this is it. Very Whitney Houston about the situation.
I was like, this is it. I poured out my soul. Now I'm about to go to work.
Right. I gotta go to work. Move. Get out the way. I'm almost late. No, I love that. Okay, so the journey from Two Nights Part 2 to Vineyard to the first project.
Yeah. From Two Nights Part 2 to Vineyard to Goop, I feel like for the entire project, I feel like I gave the love story of being with someone that's not so comfortable with inside the things that they do, and it's like a hidden thing, everything, the record is super dark because we see each other at night, and that's the only time we really get to be in this space with each other. And then on and then once you get to like the end of the record, I got this record called Energy Show Me, and it's like a 2-on-1 record. And it's like the first record is super sexual. It's like it's basically saying like, you're sleeping with this person, and you guys are giving these sweet nothings, and then once the high is gone and the ecstasy isn't there anymore, it's kind of like you fall off this cliff into like realization. So the second half is kind of like the cry out, like, I've done all this shit for you, and it's kind of like, fuck me, and you get what you want at the end of the day, and I don't. And the ending is kind of like the thoughts that pop up, and like we're all crashing into these walls because we do these things for people that really don't appreciate it, which is my aunt that's on the poetry on 2 of the songs. But yeah, it tied in well for like the perfect love story, the Black queer love story. So yeah.
I would not to, because I don't like to ever minimize someone's music, but if you want to look at that kind of era sonically, it definitely gives like Trade Peace or DL Love Story. Like it gets very, like, I was on the other side of the door waiting on them to step into the light, and what those kind of emotions and spaces felt like and looked like. And
it's a lot because if you think about it, a lot of the songs, there's a lot of space in these records, right? And then you hear me, and then my voice is panning off the walls sonically. So I'm panning in different ears, and sometimes I've come off as aggressive, and it's kind of like, damn, like I know I'm not crazy. And then you play with your thoughts, and like, okay, maybe I'm not bugging. And then, like I mentioned on subs, like I played on the concept with subs, kind of like we cut off subscriptions, and like even with that record, like it felt like one of those unplugged records. It felt unplugged. It felt raw. Like that's one of as the crazy thing is with the album, I got a lot of flack because they was like, "Oh, it's vocoder, it's auto-tune this and this that, and the third." And I'm just like, I've used auto-tune on a couple of records. I've used vocoder on a couple of records. I have my voice raw on a couple of records. I've had my voice on. I have this other thing where it kind of like pixelates your voice. I had my voice like that. I was like, I didn't have my voice all different type of ways, and y'all just pick out those 2 elements.
yeah,
But and I was like, and shit, I was like on the songs where like my vocals are raw. Those are my strongest vocals. So I'm just like, can't win in that aspect. But the one thing I did love is that everybody respected the engineering aspect of it, and it played out well in cars and environments and headphones.
Well, you actually bring up a really good point that I think about, but I didn't really think about in this session asking, but what has that particular journey been like? Because in addition to being an artist, you are, like I said, also an engineer. You do your own records for other people, and then you also create visuals for yourself and for other people. So what's that journey been like, having someone hear your stuff and be like, oh, okay, Auto-Tune Boy got it? And then it's like, well, actually, no, but yes, and that's not a bad. But what's that been like for you?
It's honestly, it's been like a crazy type of thing because I would honestly have like a rapper hit me and be like, I want you to engineer my record because I like the way your vocals sound because they're super crisp. And it was like, I like how you can hear every crack in your voice. And I'm just like, okay, like, let's see what we can do. This is my first time really like grinding out with a rapper and doing his vocals and doing reverbs differently that I would normally do for like a pop style type of vocal, and just like and getting in there, and then I see it chart and I'm just like, okay, maybe I'm doing something right. And then, or I produce a record, like, for instance, like I did Medina Green's 400V. That was originally going to be my song. It sounded completely different. And I toned it down for him. And I mixed it, I did his vocals and everything. And he was like, I really love how it sounds. And then I had people DM me like, I really want to work with you. Like, let's whatever we got to do, let's break these records. So I'm like that, and I can honestly say that's one of the best feelings. And I also did work with Dwayne, and he like Dwayne. He's one of the people I met from the DK days.
Mm-hmm.
And he lives in Arkansas, and he was like, okay, I got these records, can you engineer them for me? And I engineered them for him. He got this one song called Shaking in the Middle, and he released that on SoundCloud, but I think that's coming to streaming platforms soon. I'm not sure when. And then he put out this other record called Get Low.
Mm-hmm.
He a rapper too. And I made the song like come together. I was like, I'm seeing there's a different bag that I can really tap into. So, and I think too, another thing is, since my drums are in the essence of hip hop, I know how to bend the frequencies to fit in with my voice.
Nice. So you're able to just boom. Here's another stream.
Yeah.
No, that's honestly the best way to look at it, because I call it the Candy Birds effect. Okay, somebody gonna like it. There's gonna be some way to make money from it. And
somebody gonna like it.
3 different streams of income from that one opportunity. So I mean, it's what I've adopted. It's what you clearly adopted. So it's the move. But I call it the Candy Birds effect. You know, me in a dungeon. Oh please, here's a whole tour. Like,
let me give you a whole tour. I'm way much more than you think.
Exactly. I can't wait to like my personal just building empire of sex positivity and random standing just all marries into this just like
everything's gonna merge into one.
But Kyere, you're like, no one can do this but him. So it's been a fun little journey to build. So it's been really interesting just to see your growth and development from, I mean, even just with yourself and the stuff you do with other people, and every release is bigger than the one prior. It's a pre-live stream session talk back. It's with a 30-minute set in graphics before. Like it's always a build. So it always makes me super proud. So we're gonna take another quick break, and we're gonna keep deep diving into more of your music journey and just life and times, because we're inching up now toward, I guess, for what your releases are now, toward your middle, before we get this new bit. So we're on the air with Kyere and the SadBoy at Said the SadBoy, Eon at SadBoy Music on the platforms too, and we'll be right back.
Everything's been new to me, but I try my best. Everything's brand new to me, but I try my best. I see and contact and vocalize how I felt. We grow and build to be much fonder. They can't see the code that's inside us. I'ma stick it out, write it slow, grab it out here for ya. Gonna keep it in the pocket when bitches don't see it for you. I'm here, and you ain't never gotta worry about what's not clear. Just know I'm riding AM to PM for you. I'm riding AM to PM for you.
One question I want to ask, because you are named the SadBoy, but you do smile a lot. So I don't know if you really shared this story too much, but where does the name come from?
So I can honestly say, like, during like, so if anyone knows of the Hassan Thomas days, you know what that music was. And it was like, it's in the same vein of like what I do now. But I felt like the emotion in that, it was just like, it was a lot of like sad feelings in that, whether it's about me or whether it's somebody else, or experiences, everything was like it had this sad undertone to it. Like it could be the hypest of the hype record, but it got that undertone to it.
Mhm.
So I realized, okay, something's going on here. And there's a certain vein that you just tap into that just worked for you. And I was like, okay, let's see if we can drive it and see what we could come out with. And we got SadBoy. And even like some of the new records I'm doing and the features I'm doing, I'm mentioning SB a lot. And SB is kind of like the alter ego. He's super cocky. He gonna talk shit.
K
He gonna
brand
be
new.
like, yeah, it's gonna be like a fuck you type of vibe. So, you know, I'm playing on the concept of SadBoy and what it really means. But that's been the all around journey of how we got here.
Okay, nice. And is this a name that you still stand by? Do you ever have moments where you're like, man, what was that other name?
Like I have some days where I'm like, maybe I should do something a little bit different, and then I create music and I'm like, okay, we get it. We get it.
No, I love that. So with your first projects, okay, so you have your first couple singles that you drop, because you also give yourself a little space, not necessarily on the record, but when it comes to your drop schedule, you always allow yourself to breathe between releases. I think that's something, personally, just as a fan and supporter, I think that's important. You know, we love for our artists to have something to talk about and release about, because no one likes when their favorite artist drops a song. It's like, oh, okay, cool, got it, thanks. Where's the stuff I like? So I can always appreciate that about your releases. But one release that I know, or two releases that I guess the era they flow into each other. As we get into the next project, we'll come into AM to PM and Rue.
Yeah.
I can't remember now. I can't remember the order, but I remember one of them dropped before. Maybe they both dropped before the project.
Rue actually came out on Valentine's Day of 2020. I had a whole different idea of how I was gonna do 2020. I was actually going to do I released Rue because we were doing a show and I made it and it didn't fit anything that I had currently at the time for what project I was creating, which is I had to like take those songs and be like, okay, we're gonna lock you up and you're never gonna come out to see the tape. Like so I did that, and Rue was the one song that stuck. And I was like, okay, bet I'm gonna do the show. I'm gonna get back into dance school, gonna get back into vocal lessons, gonna really like study and try to perfect for a little bit and then come back out harder. Pandemic hit. I'm like, okay, I'm in California in April and I'm like, the streams on Rue is climbing. And I get back home, it's May, and I'm like, the streams are climbing even more. And I'm like, okay, so I gotta do something with this. I can't see myself putting out another album right now because it's too quick. But I can see myself putting songs together that fit with that. And they don't all have to be the same genre. They can be anything sonically. So I wrote AM to PM. And I was just like, this is like the first love song we've ever written. We've ever got to sing out on a record. And then I got On Me with this, just like, I love synth pop. That it's in that vibe.
Yes.
Like I love On Me. So it has that power ballad kind of thing. Kind of like how they do in the 80s with the vocal, like the vocal super strong. And you got these backgrounds. And shout out to Alan because he's on the background vocals. And then I have Paradise Mind, where it's kind of like, you know, that's kind of like an old me, like around like the Hobson Thomas days, and me playing around with hip hop and having this like little flow and having fun with it. And then we get to Rue, and it's like a soca dance hall R&B cut, and it's quick with the afflictions in it.
Pop your ass too.
Yeah. So and I can say with that EP, it solidified me more as an indie artist in our community. It really solidified me in like what I can do sonically with myself and how I can use my voice and my writing and people wanted to work with me. Like before with the first project, it was like pulling teeth. Like, okay, I got these records. Do you want to hop on? Everybody's like, no. And then I come out and they're like, okay, it's cool. And then I get to the second one. They're like, okay, we gotta work because something's working over there. So I honestly say that I think the making that EP was the most fun I've ever had because I didn't feel confined to a date. I didn't feel confined to a sound. I didn't feel confined to a vibe that I was going for. It was just free.
So I like to ask all of my guests this, and you bring it up, so I'm interested to hear what you say about it. But if you could look at both bodies now for just, because it's been a year, honestly, since both, how could you look at that time and what would you think about it as? Like your first baby and then the baby that kind of sprouted some other things.
The first baby, I would definitely say I should have let go of it before 2019 because I already had it done in 2018. I just had it. Was like, okay, I'm not ready to let go just yet, and I should have been let that go. And then for the second baby, it's like, okay, like you can go. I think we're good. You know the gist of what we need you to do, so you can just go ahead and walk. And before I used to be scared to release. Like releasing music is scary at first, and then once you get the hang of it, it's kind of like, okay, I'm gonna put this record out here, and we gonna see how she do and keep it moving. But it's definitely been a journey. It's been a journey.
Nice. So when I think about it now, it's a perfect lead in because you mentioned it, but now we're gonna get knee deep into it. So there's this particular show, Valentine's Day show in New York City, 2020. The one and only, the one from the 504 self, Ms. Nine Ward, Dawn Rashad, and
Yes.
SadBoy at Mercury Lounge, New York City. Like it happened. So let's just take me back. What was the phone call? What was the conversation? How did it go down? What was the experience like? This is literally a week before we entered the Panini.
So it was the week of my birthday, and I get a DM from Dawn. She's like, okay, having a show Valentine's Day. Can you open for me? And I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I'll do it. So, and then she was like, all right, you got 15 minutes on stage. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna figure out how, whatever. So I get on the phone, I call my mom and I call my dad. I'm like, okay, so I'm opening up for Dawn, blah, 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 blah. So my house is hyped about it. Mm-hmm. Call my sister in California, she's hyped. So I get all my like family hyped about it. And then I kind of went quiet about it. I didn't say anything. I just said something to a couple of people that I was doing it. And I kind of just try to gather like choreographer. I already had dancers from a previous show. Mm-hmm. And I kind of like just pulled everybody in and was like, okay, so I have a show and you know, I really want y'all to collaborate with me and try to make this show as big as I can make it with the little coins in my pocket. Let's do it. So
this is your rehearsal for the show. So wait, who are your dancers? So you said you had dancers from a previous gig, and I'm assuming
yeah. So this is actually new. This is from the rehearsal for Phil's. Okay. But Alexis, the guy on the left, Alexis, he's been with me for some time, and Yvette, she's new. She's a newcomer to the team now, and I really like the way she's flowing with the movement, and we match each other. That's my big thing, is that I want us to match each other on stage. And I'm short, I'm 5'7", so I need everybody to be around my height, so it looks a certain way.
Absolutely.
So we did rehearsals, and you know me, I research everything. So I'm looking at the venue, what the venue has, what they can give me. So I noticed that the venue doesn't have wireless mics.
They do not.
Rented a wireless mic. Noticed that the venue had a projector. I put a whole projection behind me on stage.
Let me hear your
Like whole projector behind me on stage. Got extra lights. Y'all see the lights is going up and down to the sound of the music. And you know, like my outfit is tribute to Dawn and Kanye with the hearts on there. And it was really like a dream come true, to be honest. So that show was some hard work. I starved some days for it.
Hey, that's the game though. That's the game. Like I'm over here beaming now, just smiling, thinking about it. Like the one show, the one Dawn show out of like a decade, and I'm stuck in Atlanta for a freaking panini. Oh,
I really hope we get to I was glad about opening up the show for Valentine's Day, but I really hope I get to do tour, just have a whole run with her, and you know, we get to cut a record or maybe two, and we really get that, and we do something cool performance wise for it,
no,
and have a dope video.
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Like it's gonna happen. I've already manifested with her and I when we chatted, and I'm gonna manifest it and continue to manifest it here. It's gonna happen. I can't wait to be in the audience. I'm gonna have the camera out. It's gonna be a good time. Like it's gonna be a bomb.
Ready?
And the crazy thing, I flipped her braid over her shoulder, and she was like,
Okay.
"Hold on, wait."
Just it's the journey for me. It's just the journey for me.
All the way from DK to like, it's funny because people I went to school with in elementary school, they're like, "I remember when we talk about making a band," and you'd be like, "Donnie's your favorite," and like, look at you now, and I'm just like,
Or even having her on for like the season 2 premiere, I was just like, they're like, damn, how many shows does Dawn have? Because you're at all of them. And I'm just
too
like,
many.
this family is love. Like this is honestly
And
one of my favorite places to be in one of these
and
crowds.
and especially for for New York, it's like second home.
I was
So
just telling somebody that like if you like you have to see artists in their best cities, and you can't see Dawn unless you really see her in New York City. Like it's just something that
gotta come to New
crowd,
York.
the young creative energy, the ones who fly in, us front row hearts, like the
The
crew,
front
like,
row.
okay, Bug, they're drawn, like all of us, like yes,
It's the whole front row, and we gonna hype it. We gonna hype that show
hype
as
it,
much as we can
hype
make it.
okay, hype it.
Even down to like when she do like I remember for like the 2016 show, she performed a dance. She did like this little spin, and then she did a drop, and then she hit the mark, and everybody's like, "Hey!" And she went to another show and did it, but no one did the little "hey" back behind it. So I was just like,
See, it's just those little elements, just those little elements.
it's little elements that give it that upper hand of like,
Or
oh,
even
this is an
going
experience.
choreo and like you've been on at least 2-3 you've been at least 3 stages if I can think of. Was it the PS stage or PS1 moment stage?
PS1,
The rough
the MoMA
trade
stage, I
stage,
sung.
you did the
Rough
fade
Trade, I
the sunset,
danced.
and you can't. It was the New York Webster Hall joint that we were talking about from 2016 with the triangle. You jumped up then too.
Yeah, I jumped up there, and then I think we were at Moby. I sung on the mic again.
Yeah. So it's just a thing. Like you get like you. If we're gonna hit the choreo, Anthony to do the breakdown. Like it has to happen. Like what? Like it has to.
It's crazy. I know a lot of the counts. And on my birthday, I had a birthday dinner at Fogo de Chao, and I had the private room, and so I was playing mad music and stuff. So Slim Thick was playing in the background, so I was just like, so I'm always gonna hit a count if I hit a record.
Yes, absolutely. I love that. And see, that's just what makes going to her show so incredible. Is that you just know, like The energy is about to be ridiculous. Everyone in there is about to give everything they have and scream
It's
and curse at her. And we're gonna ask for the most random, obscure
random
song.
songs.
Like
Random
this
songs.
August, why are we asking for December Sky? Like
December sky.
it's like it's February. Like, like
February. We're not in
it's not
December no
even at
more.
Christmas anymore. That doesn't even sound like the Christmas record it was supposed to be. Like, I'm like, how y'all gonna max October Sky? Like, oh my god.
And they'll be like 300, and I'm just like, where does that fit sonically in a set?
Listen, okay, she just performed goddamn Showstopper. Where is there space for 300? Like,
No space for 300. 300 is one of those songs you put at the end.
yes, you
to
have to
close.
you have to do either 300 or the Louvre or the Deep, but you can't do all three. You have to pick one.
You can't do all three at all.
First of all, that whole section would just be 30 minutes long because she's gonna stand there and sing for 20 minutes.
And then she's gonna loop it and do some extraness.
You're gonna drop some Sade in there real quick. It's gonna
A
be
little Sade and a little shimmy.
Yeah.
And she's gonna hit her little shoulder bop.
And another one of these. And another one of these. And then a couple of them. So we have one more project to talk about, the most recent project, and then I think my time with you for now is done. So the pandemic, I mean, at the top of the panini, everyone was pressed, but the SadBoy was on a stage. That was the New York stage, which was a sold-out gig, by the way. That was sold out. Did you all do one or two shows?
I only did one show. I only did one show. I was just happy it was just one show because I was just like, damn, this is gonna be my second performance ever. So I was like, damn, I have to get on stage one night and then be like, okay, I gotta get on stage the next night. That's gonna be too much.
Yeah.
But
that's incredible though. And you mentioned this earlier. Now that I think about it, I want to let it escape. You mentioned the venue. Very happy because I know for a fact that I think you get 100% of your door and the bar there.
Yeah, you get door and you get the bar.
So when I saw that, I was like, yes. I was like, damn.
And you get your full merch too.
Yes, you get your whole merch too. So that was my number one venue to do the Electric Red show in New York, Mercury Lounge. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, that makes me very happy. I was like, I love when the people get to make money from the art. Like it's not just fun to go and support for support's sake, but I love being like, okay, somebody get some coin from this. And so she sold out and did a second day. I was like, oh, mama definitely paying a light bill this week. Like
she sold out the first day and the second day. First day and second day. So I was just like, and the venue was actually cool. Like it was just very intimate. The only thing that was kind of like the weirdest thing is the dressing room was in the basement. Dressing rooms in the basement, so you gotta walk from back of the basement and then walk up the stairs and walk through the crowd and then go up on the side of the stage and get on stage. That's the only weird thing, but other than that, it's a really cool venue.
Yeah, no, I've yet to be able to catch a show there. Just because of the Ponderosa, but ever since wanting to like do that show with them, I was like, no, I need to check this venue out. So you all performed there, and the light rig, everything looked amazing. So I was like, oh, this is not just a stage in a corner. Like this is giving what it's supposed to have gave.
You can really turn it into something.
Absolutely.
Really turn it into something.
That just makes me excited. I love venues, so I was like, no, I can't not mention Mercury Lounge as a venue being the dope space because
it is a pretty dope space, and it's kind of like it's small, but you think like sonically in there, you can basically like we was doing sound check, and you can basically stand anywhere in there, and everything sounds great. So it's just like you can't lose at a place like that. You can't.
New York has some pretty famous venues that actually have very terrible acoustics. So I actually really like that lounge for that reason. Because there are a couple places, like if you're gonna do a
Urban
show,
Plaza's one.
Yes, Urban Plaza's one. SOB's is another. Can't stand it. Don't like going to shows there. I only do it if it's like a hip hop pass the mic kind of situation. Because it sounds like karaoke in there, and I don't get it.
Yeah.
BB King's used
to be
Urban
Plaza.
Especially Urban Plaza and DK. They've done at least 3-4 shows there. Because I mean, they all
maybe 5.
I was gonna say it makes sense on paper because I also that's another venue where you see how the money breaks down. It's like, okay, I would do a show here too because it's basically Mercury Lounge times 3.
Yeah, they're owned by the same people.
Yes, I see. I didn't even know that, but that makes total sense. So I totally get how they get an Urban Plaza gig because you make your money off rip. And then they would always throw in a booking somewhere to to get some extra bread on top of that. So I always love looking at venues in the city, but there are just certain ones that I just do not like.
It's certain ones. Like if you go to Urban Plaza, you really gotta be like in the dead center.
Right.
You gotta be in the dead center. If you on the left, your eardrums gonna be blown. Left, right, eardrums blown out.
Yeah. Absolutely. So this most recent project, because you're always working on music, you're never not working on music. Between breaks, I'll admit that the SadBoy had to do a little bit of ABC 123 with me in the name of the new project because he loves a uniquely titled project. So please tell the people the title of the.
So it's called Planète des Larmes. It's French for Planet of Tears. I'm working on something really cool for the cover art. And I plan to get visuals this era. So you get to see me hit those 1s and 2s that I was hitting on stage. With even prior then, but you're gonna see me hitting a lot of counts, a lot of different scenes, and it's gonna be cool. And sonically, the album is like I've already been a gumbo soup of different things sonically, but this one really like takes the cake.
Nice. Okay. So you've already given the people a little bit of a hint because the most recent release, Feels, is something that's on the upcoming project. I don't know if its placement on the project is stationary, so I won't talk about its placement on the track list.
Oh, it's stationary.
Okay, because I was about to say where it is now, it's perfect. It's perfect, exactly where it is now. Leading up to it and then what comes after it, perfect. I love this kind of calm down thing that happens because the record is sexy. It's a sexy record, okay? This is like the SadBoy has always hinted on a little bit of sex, a little bit of here and there, but this record is sex. It's the Planet of Tears, but it's sex.
I would honestly say like there are some tracks I didn't want to go too hard for. I didn't want to go too hard on like songs being super long. I kind of just went where they felt like they ended at, and really like let them breathe. Because nowadays, today, we're in a space where, people really don't have the attention span that long to sit and listen to a 4-minute track, a 5-minute track, a 6-minute track. So I try to be like, okay, I'm gonna give y'all 2 minutes or something. The next track might be 4 minutes, and then give you an interlude, and that's like what, a minute and change. So, and of course, I'm always gonna be the interlude guy. I'm gonna give an interlude that is just me. I love interludes. I feel like you cannot have an album without an interlude, an intro, or outro.
Absolutely, they push the story up so well.
It solidifies the project. So I can honestly say I'm very happy about this album. I collaborated with so many different people on a lot of different tracks and been in all type of sessions with people. And we right here, and pulling in a lot of people from the internet, Twitter, and seeing where they can fit in my world. And everyone I speak to about the project, I was like, so just imagine, we shipped you off, you're on my planet now, and I give you a plot. Just build your house in my world. Just build your house in my world, and let's see how it comes out. Even with Phil's, I didn't give y'all the full song of Phil's. Phil's is like a taste.
Oh, so the streaming single isn't the full version that we'll even get there. Okay, because I made that assumption, but I should have not made that assumption because it's you.
On the album, it's kind of like it's a transition on it, and it's like it's this like cool like underwater vibe, and then it's cool. All I can say is cool. I really like it, but the feels that's the single isn't the same version that's on the album, which is you can kind of tell by the way that the song ends.
Got you. We love the story and how it continues, and I also love how being independent, you can keep working with ideas. Like the version,
Yeah,
this release version doesn't have to be the album version, which doesn't have to be the video version, which doesn't have to be the performance
you can
mix.
always keep playing with it, and I think a lot of times too. I think now we're in this time where like we get the same version of the song everywhere we get it. Like we'll get the same version live, we'll get the same version on a re-release, we'll get the same version on like the song never changes.
Yes.
So I feel like for me, like I'm like, okay, I grew up a music video kid. We always got a different version of the track on the music video.
Yes.
There was always something different on that music video version. The way that the breakdown was differently, a synth was different. Like it's always something that was different. So I really wanted to incorporate what we had back in the day and take it and merge it into now. And then with streaming, you can basically take your song down and then put it back up tomorrow, and it's a different mix of it, and people are like, okay, something's different.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of freedom in doing things like that.
With the project, are there any songs that you're just really interested for us to hear or our reactions?
That's kind of hard. I know the intro is gonna be like, because it's gonna be like we're blasting off into my planet.
Yes, that's so what it sounds. It almost sounds like arrival music, like you're loading into, we're arriving back into the planet SadBoy Airways or whatever the airline is called.
That's really what it is. But damn, I can honestly say I think one song I'm excited for people to hear is 575.
Okay.
And I'm really like, I'm talking shit on that song. I'm talking shit.
And you have a feature too. You collaborating. I mean, you've always collaborated, but this one has a bit more juice in terms of your collaborative kind of effort.
Yeah.
You're not talking shit by yourself on that record.
No, I can honestly say like even with like some of the records, like I've given free range to people like to write the song full, and just like because I feel like I have to understand too at the same time, like there's other people that can tell the story.
Mm-hmm.
They can probably tell it a different way in their experience, and it still relates into that SadBoy realm. Or for instance, like I'm gonna have a deluxe version of the album, and it's gonna have a whole bunch of tracks that didn't make the final cut,
Mm-hmm.
but it's gonna be every track with every feature that I had collaborated with, and they're all gonna be on that version of that, and it's just gonna be 2 songs from me that's just solo me, yeah, and then everybody else is just gonna be them on my tracks. It's just me behind producing and them writing out the records. So I'm excited for those to come out too. But 575, that something about that 808 slide in, and then me talking shit, and then me stacking the backgrounds, and then if you having headphones, you hear that vocoder and it's sliding through one ear to the next ear. It's like, it's crazy. I can honestly say it's gonna be a fun video to shoot too. It's gonna be fun.
What of your releases? I know we've talked about this offline and mentioned the response to specifically AM to PM being a really big one. We talked about, I know, On Me being a mutual fave. But what song, if any of your songs have surprised you with the reaction you've gotten, which ones would they be?
I would honestly say it was AM to PM. AM to PM was what shocked me. I just felt like it was just, I feel like it was super regular.
Mhm.
Like it was me, but then it was also very contemporary at the same time. So it's just like I really didn't expect anybody to like be like, okay, like this one is the record. But when I was packaging everything together and I was doing the track listing, I was like, yeah, on me, this song on me, this one. Like it got the everything in it. It got my hard vocals in it. It got the backgrounds. It got the little. It just felt like it was well packaged 2000s pop record, and I really felt like it was really going to do something. And then I looked at the numbers on the streams, and Rue is all the way up here, and then I have AM to PM up here, and then I have On Me like right here, and I'm just like,
Wow.
can't judge it.
You're like, oh, I thought I was the A&R here. I guess not.
Can't judge it at all. And I'm speaking with D'Angelo, and I'm just like, I really can't believe they really love that song so much. And even like now, like how because I on Apple Music they'll send you that you have more streams, and they send you like the percentages up and down. And every week it's like AM to PM, AM to PM, and I'm just like, I get it. Y'all love the song. I get it.
One day you're gonna have to do a Stan official, like quirky mashup of yours and Christina Milian's AM to PM. Just for the namesake of it. I don't know. Outside, you might have to find another beat.
From AM to PM.
Somebody
hit the lights.
Okay, so we can rock a day, and you have to find just for the what the fuck of it all.
I'm trying to think, how would I sonically mesh that?
You have to find another beat and just figure it out.
I would have to do something real cool to make it work.
But just the stand-up of it all, just like of course. He produces. He does everything under the sun except strip poker. That we know of. But no, it's been my total honor to have you on the air. It's your first time. It's not your last. You're going to come back. We're going to talk.
I'm definitely coming back.
Favorite shows. We're going to talk upcoming projects. We're going to talk this album after it's out and really dig into it. So I'm just excited to have you in my life, to have you around. You inspire me with your art. You wake up and you keep choosing to do this shit. And sometimes you just need to be reminded that other people are out here doing it as well. There's no right way or wrong way to do it. You just got to do it. So for that, I say thank you. I'm grateful to have you on my platform. I'm grateful to extend my little home to you. And it is what it is.
No, thank you so much for having me. As you know, basically like family, we've been rocking out for, I want to say 10 years, just about.
Yeah. 10 years.
Yeah. So yeah, it's always love. And the next time I come back to Atlanta, I will be seeing you.
I'll say, it will be on your way back to the airport. Talking about next time, I'm like, this is exactly why we can't have nice. But for now, we've been on the air. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for staying in the chat. He'll be back soon, very, very, very soon. Make sure you stream, subscribe, follow, like, support, retweet, word of mouth. Do everything that you can to support this man at the SadBoy, at SadBoy Music. He's everywhere you want to find him, and a couple places where you didn't know he is. And that's a wrap.